Action.
Hello, welcome to another installment of Two Weirdos Mental Ward. Sorry you guys haven't seen us very much lately. We kind of took a break over the holidays. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and New Year's and all that, or happy holidays, you know, Kwanzaa, Festivus, whatever. And
Serenity now!
we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things, but we'd first like to give two shout-outs. One, thank you to the...
Brought to you by Pale Eddie's.
Yes, Pale Eddie's. One of the greatest Pale Eddie's Poorhouse in downtown Birmingham, 2nd Avenue North. But we would like to say thank you to the management and the owners of Pale Eddie's for allowing us to record. And behind the camera, we finally, we feel so like professional, we finally have a camera person. Behind the camera is our friend Cheryl, who you've probably seen in various episodes of Potemkin Pictures. But you've also seen me as Landclose, and you will see Matt on soon. He's jumping on board with that because he's a big old geek like I am.
I think I'm a bigger nerd.
Well, you are, but I'm way better looking. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is going to turn into some different type of video. We're not going to be able to put this on YouTube.
Probably not. Probably not. And I'd also like to say thanks to my friends Nate and Brooke who got me this. It's a poster of movies that you X off after you watch them. So I'm going to go home tonight, probably 2/3 of it X off because I watch movies a lot. I have no life. Excuse me.
Hey, I've already seen most of them on that.
All right, so Matt, what's on your mind today on this rainy day?
Hair, usually. Would like it to stay there.
Well, it's true. I mean,
They would ever tell you, like, oh, it looks like you have less hair up there, and then, like, the rest of the time you're just obsessing over it.
yeah. It's like you kind of laugh it off, and then like you get up the next day, like before you shower or something, and you're like, you're like, oh my god, it has gone back. And you want to call that person and yell at them, but you realize that might not be very nice.
Especially you look through old photo albums, you go, you were wrong, it's always been that bald.
So, okay, well here's something to bounce this off you. Is this like, I consider myself, people ask me, and I consider myself agnostic, which, for those of you that may or may not know, that it's you don't really know what's out there. There could be God, there could be gods, there could not be God. But it's like, I guess agnostic is a fancy way of saying,
Like, I don't know. And you know what? I also don't want to get up early and go to church around a bunch of judgy grandmas.
I was always pretty clever, because I was told when I was 16 and I got my license and I got a car, thanks Mom, that I could get a job, and as long as it didn't interfere with my grades, that was okay. So I got a job working in a fast food restaurant, and when the manager, who was real cool, his name was Rick, he asked me, he's like, well, can you work on Sunday mornings? I was about to say no, I was like, yes I can. And then I was like, hey Mom, I got the job. And she's like, that's great, honey. I go, yeah, but I gotta work Sunday mornings. I'm sorry, I can't go to church. Not that there's anything wrong with church, it's just not my thing.
I didn't get my driver's license until about 19.
Really?
Yes. I'm bad at testing. I have test anxiety, ADHD, and they change the test every time you mess it up. It's a new test. Gives you, I took it 4 times in a row, enough times to go over it, and then I took it 4 more times in a row, and then I took a driving test and failed that one once.
Did you run into a school bus or something? And then I had to take it so many times.
That's how I passed.
Oh, okay.
School buses are 100 points. Especially if you just get it off the road.
Well, I mean, if you were treating it like a, Grand Theft Auto, then that may have been part of the problem. I remember when I tested, me and our friends used to laugh. The lady at the DMV, she had a beehive from the 70s. We called her the beehive lady. She was actually pretty nice, but she was kind of
60s.
Yeah, 60s. But she was kind of scary too, and she was real strict. She got mad at me for going 2 miles over the speed limit, just going. I wasn't in a residential area. I was going up the hill, and it just needed a little. It even says that in the book. It's okay. You got to go up the hill in momentum, and she, was going to take points off for that, and argued my way out of it.
3-point turn.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm lost. Okay, just back it up here. All right.
Oh, don't.
Okay, now I'm good. How did I look? You take a test, and then you take a driving test. And then you get your driver's license. And 10 years, you've either drove drunk, drove like terribly, wrecked your car a couple times probably.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't have to take it more than once.
Yeah.
Because everyone would probably lose a license for a while.
Well, I mean, I'm actually a firm believer. I think you should, starting when you're 16, I think you should have to take a test like every 10 years because, I mean, let's face it, about every 10 years, I mean, you think about it like, by about the, you're 20 and about the time you're 30, you start kind of, like that's when maybe start having like maybe minor hearing problems or your reflexes aren't as good. And then when you're 40, I mean, I think that's actually a good idea because, sometimes people don't realize that, their eyesight is going or their hearing is going and, if they can catch that when you're driving, it's a good thing.
No, it took too long to do the first time. I don't want to do it again and I'm not.
It's okay, deep breath. I'll do it. So,
when I hyperventilate and need to breathe in a bag, I like it to be Taco Bell, because then I get to breathe in that flavor.
hey, Taco Bell, if you're watching, we're all about advertising. I love those 7-layer burritos. Okay, so here's something controversial. By the way, if you notice, we have our notebooks open. We usually don't do that, guys, but we had a lot of ideas, so just prepare this.
Mine's blank.
I use yellow because I'm 40 and it's hard on my eyes to see very well. But controversial shows and movies, and then they become a hit, and then they're like the norm. Good example: The Simpsons, Married with Children, Family Guy, the more modern kind of one, or South Park. I mean, some of you out there may not remember when South Park first came out because you may not have been alive or too young to watch it. Like South Park or The Simpsons or Married with Children were all like really controversial when they first came out.
Was not alive when South Park came out.
You were too.
No, I didn't say I no.
I
was
say.
at like perfect age for South Park to come out.
No. I
Because
just started college.
when South Park came out, I was in high school. Then I was like, oh, let's see what Matt Stone and Trey Parker also put out. And then I watched Cannibal the Musical, Orgasmo, which, the Book of Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Orgasmo. You can definitely see the precursor to that playing.
Oh yeah, they were brilliant. I always thought it was cool that they got South Park doing a little cartoon Christmas card, and a friend of theirs showed us like Comedy Central. The Comedy Central was starting. They knew they were looking for shows and stuff too. Which I mean, South Park basically became their flagship.
I miss the old sci-fi channel.
Oh yeah.
Anime Mondays.
No, a little cold.
They had science fiction. Mystery Science Theater 3000 was on there.
I have to ask. Yeah, what happened to the Sci-Fi Channel? Because it came out and it's like finally like nerds, geeks, we have our own channel, and then it just got dumb. It got hard. I mean, I'm not talking about the rerun stuff, but like the original shows that they did, they were just stupid.
What, even like Sharknado?
Yeah, or like when after the Lord of the Rings movies came out popular, they did one and it was basically, it should have been called Lord of the Rings Ripoff. We hope you don't notice. That should have been the name of the episode, of the show, of the movie.
Speaking of that and Mystery Science Theater 3000, the second season of the new one that they put out, they put out the new one.
Mm-hmm.
They did it's called the Pacific Rim.
Yes.
Wait, Pacific Rim's Atlantic Rim.
Yes.
Is the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, Pacific Rim. I think it's based off a video.
Appreciate it.
Something like that. Not exactly.
Get it all out.
Yeah, but what am I here talking about? That's like and it's garbage fire. They're mocking it, and it's hard to watch.
Yeah. Now I want to leapfrog into something else. And as I mentioned before, we're here in Birmingham, and of course, once again, we're here at Hill Eddie's Courthouse on 2nd Avenue North in Birmingham, Alabama. Definitely check it out; it's a great place. But as I mentioned, what I was going to say to our audience out there is, I've mentioned before that Matt and I kind of live on opposite ends of town. Like he's kind of north of Birmingham, I'm south of Birmingham, so we try to usually find somewhere in the middle, like downtown, 5 Points, somewhere like that to meet. we talked on the phone a good bit and messaged a lot. I can't talk. I haven't been drinking. We message a lot on Facebook. You mentioned something the other day. I'm just going to throw this word out there and let you roll with this. Colonoscopy.
Ah, yes. Colonoscopy.
Buckle up, everybody.
And the recovery room of farts. Yeah, if you've ever taken some, because you have to take some, like if like a mom or a person, you have to go with them because they put you under, inflate your intestines so they can feed the tube. Oh, and then that's the jacked up thing about like having some sort of procedure.
Especially when it involves things going up your butt.
No, well, yeah, anything that involves food, it's like, okay, we gotta like clear out the room to make way for the thing we're gonna shove up it. And it's like, oh, okay, you can't eat for a day, or you can't eat solids for a day, so you gotta drink like chicken broth, which is not bad, but you can't eat like solid food or anything like that. So you're grumpy.
Yeah.
Then,
also the fact that you're grumpy because you can't eat, and then once again you know that they're about to stick stuff up your butt. I mean, I'd be very upset.
the worst thing is, you have to purchase something that costs like $80 to ingest just to make you poop it out. Why can't I go to Walmart and just get X-Lax? Just load, like, for $80, you know how much X-Lax you can get? A lot. A lot of X-Lax.
Yes.
And that does the same job. You're not pooing $80 into the toilet. But you get, like, the doctor signs the form just so your insurance can pay, like, shell out a whole buttload of money that you shell out, which by the way, insurance. Can we just call that legal extortion?
Or in case shit happens.
Yeah,
Quote
because
Chris Rock.
like back in the mob, like Goodfellas time, The Godfather, you had a guy goes into your shop, goes, oh, you know what? It'd be awful bad if something broke in your house, or your business, or in your knees, or any general area below your belt. How about you just give us a bunch of money, and it won't happen. We'll protect you. That's illegal? when the insurance salesman is doing the exact same, oh, your house could explode, it's not a fault.
It's like, oh, somebody pulled out in front of you when you were driving to the grocery store. Oh, yeah, well, you need to give us $500 and we'll take care of it.
You know what the jacked up thing is? At least the mob, when you paid them the extortion money, when stuff went down, oh, there's hoodlums breaking the windows. They went down, hunted down the hoodlums, and that didn't happen ever again. Do you know how hard it is to get the insurance company, the person you pay like $600 a year, like $80 a month, $600 a year, to actually pay up when like the thing that you're paying them for happened? Yeah, it's like, well, you'd have to get the mob guy to get the insurance company to do their job.
Very, very true. Well, speaking of, by the way, we are available for children's birthday parties. Just wanted to throw that out there.
I do lewd balloons. It's always going to be a penis.
And I teach children how to pick up women. Boys and girls, you know, it's a modern age. But that being said, we can leap into Star Wars. While I'm doing, I'm going to grab another drink. Come to the bar with me real quick. I want to introduce y'all to somebody. This is Max. He's awesome. Say hello to everybody out there, Max.
Hey guys.
Cool. Max is a big Star Wars fan. No, thank you. And Max, before we started recording, you were talking, you said, like, you were mentioning your favorite character, which I've never heard before. Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
R2-D2.
Cool, why is that?
He is the most stoic character in the whole series. He's survived everything like everyone else.
And he's always in the net.
Right.
And he swears like a sailor, but it only comes out in whistles.
Yeah, like Cedar's like, what's your language? You're like, I don't know what he said.
He's got a pretty face.
Oh, you can't say that.
Excuse me.
Grandpa's racist, but you wouldn't know it, because it's all whistles.
Ooh. Alright, so, Star Wars. I did have a bit of information, and or not information, I'm sorry, I can't talk today apparently.
No, yes, I need the information.
Yes, but it's more. It was more kind of a realization. And I've been watching a lot of stuff. I don't get on social media like Facebook and stuff as much as some people do. But I've been reading a lot of stuff and looking at a lot of stuff. And Cheryl, of course, once again, who's behind the camera, her and I have been parts of these conversations, and Matt, I think you have too on Facebook, about like politics and our president and everything. And I had this epiphany a couple days ago. I know, and that's fine. I respect it.
If I wanted something orange to talk that much shit, I'd paint my butt orange and I'd fart for an hour.
Well said. Well said. Now, that being said, I had this epiphany. It was late at night a couple nights ago. I was sitting in the den in my favorite chair watching. I believe I was watching. I was watching Star Wars Episode 3. Hey, shut up! I'm just kidding. I love it.
I think Star Wars Episode 3
Yeah.
could also be called Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, it could be.
Because that's when Obi-Wan grew the beard.
Yes, yes, but I had this epiphany. Is that Trump is basically taking a play out of the Emperor Palpatine playbook, which is you create a crisis and an emergency, or crisis/emergency, I should say, and then you get everybody like afraid and worried and anxious, and you've already manipulated their fear, and possibly some of them with their latent racism. Not that all Trump supporters are racist, I'm saying that. And then and then you basically make things so bad that he steps in and goes, well, I need more power, I need more control, let me do this and everything will be all right. And then supporters and detractors, by the time they realize what's going on, well, detractors already know what's going on, supporters not so much. Sorry, it's the truth. All of a sudden they're both like, oh crap, it's too late, and then democracy dies, as Senator Amidala put it. Liberty dies with thunderous applause.
You're giving the government way too much credit.
I know. I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about Captain Jackass that's in the Oval Office.
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. President.
You're giving him way too much credit.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. It was a realization of it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't want to like.
One more year.
I don't want to be like the 60-year-old guy that's like living in like a fenced-in small city, small town somewhere in Alabama, because the United States is plunged into civil war. Talking to kids, going, they're like, well, oh man, Lewis, will you tell us what it was like before the dark times? And I was like, well, things used to be okay. You could get water and food in the grocery store, and we didn't have to eat puppies.
Let's also mention about this. Okay.
Sorry, I don't eat puppies.
This is what annoys me about like anyone making prequels.
Okay, good point.
Star Wars.
Yes.
Millennium Falcon's junkie. Tatooine, well, just looks terrible anyway. Because one grain of sand on that entire planet is gonna get in your shorts.
Yeah, well,
somehow.
Well, it's a giant desert. I mean, they don't even have spice like Arrakis and Dune. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like most of the 70s, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi is a bit gritty, a bit sweaty, and just a little kind of grimy a little bit. Mm-hmm. Then you cut to 2000, then you got the prequels, everything's all shiny and new. Mm-hmm. Star Trek comes out in 1966. We got like whatever, light switch thing we got, what we could find, screwed in and glued onto some poster board, slapped together. Then 2016 rolls around, 2017 comes, we got Discovery somehow that's in the same universe, and they've got way more.
15 years before the original series, yeah.
Yeah. 2000 with Enterprise,
yeah.
And then Discovery. Somehow, some way, the Enterprise.
Somewhere out. I'm sorry, I blacked out. What happened? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, go ahead. I had to do it.
The technology looks way better in these than it did in 19. You know how much money you would save if you just like took the Enterprise from 1966, and did it today, it costs about $5.
Right. Well, okay. I want to say this though. Back to what you said. I agree with you. I'm like 85% with you there. Okay, more like 87.
Seriously, lowballing
Okay.
$5.
No, it's fine. 87. Actually, more like 87%. I'm with you. But here's the thing. Okay, I will say this about Enterprise. And I know there's a lot of Star Trek fans out there that don't like Enterprise. And if you don't, that's okay. I think you're wrong, but we can agree to disagree.
Season 3 of Enterprise.
Oh, it was terrible. Oh, it was terrible. Except for that episode North Star. That was kind of cool.
1, 2, and 4.
Yes, I agree. But what I was going to say is I at least like that the technology aboard the NX-01 Enterprise on that show, it looked like the natural progression of technology from, like, say, what we have now, and, you know, or at least back when it aired. You know, like with the touch screens, but everything isn't smooth and sleek and everything. That at least worked. I mean, and you also think about the idea that if humanity is working together collectively, not only living peacefully with each other, but we're sharing all technology and we're all working together in common purpose and good, then you're going to have really great technology. But I do see what you're saying is that it doesn't look like, it's not overly modernistic, which I've heard is people's biggest complaint about Discovery.
In Enterprise,
And I agree.
they had the onesie suit, they look kind of astronautic.
Yeah, kind of a jumpsuit kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. But Discovery has the hollow screen that pops up, and that bugs the crap out of me. No one on Enterprise, like they have like an old boxy TV.
They didn't have shields, which I kind of wish they had gotten, you know, somewhere around season 2. That would have helped them out tremendously. They didn't have shields.
Enterprise didn't have shields?
No, they had like polarized hull plating. They didn't have shields. Except for in the episode in season 3 where Archer got the things in his head and he couldn't remember things, by the way. And it was like an alternate reality Enterprise. But they didn't have shields. They didn't show Enterprise, they didn't have shields.
Sorry, I went to the original Star Trek. Okay.
Okay.
I was like, okay, wait, no, I remember shields up.
Right. Now, I will say this, and anybody out there that knows me, and if you don't, you should, is that in the Mirror Universe 2-part episode in season 4 of the show Enterprise, like when they board the USS Defiant, which is from 100 years in the future from the Good Universe, and that's actually derived from the Tholian Web episode of the original series. It's actually kind of cool because the cast members said, and the producers and directors and writers said they weren't sure how the crew would look, you know, on that set, but it actually they did a good job. Kind of like Trials and Tribulations in Deep Space Nine, where they had to go back to the trials. So it can work, but I do know what you mean. I know, best episode of Star Trek ever. Have you seen it, Cheryl?
No, not yet.
Okay, you should watch it.
I keep hearing people talk about Mirror Universe though, so I'm definitely intrigued.
The next time we meet, I'm just like gonna bring all my Star Trek stuff to you. I'm like, watch all this, and I want a 2-page report. No, I wouldn't do that to you.
Are you sure?
No.
Unless you wanted to, yeah. I'm writing, well, I haven't started on the
Okay, there we go.
document review, but I'm writing the best holodeck episodes, which turns out there's less holodeck episodes than I thought there was.
Really? I mean, there's a good many, but I mean,
No, okay, so you take season 1, there's one holodeck episode, and the other one of Next Generation. Season 2, there's one. Season 3.
so you're talking about like an episode that's pretty much based around the holodeck, not one where they just like are on the holodeck being part of the episode.
Yeah, because there's episodes where they try to discover what humor is,
Yeah.
and at the beginning there'll be some Joe Piscopo
Yeah.
is the comedian. There's interaction with the holodeck to figure out what makes us human, what's humorous.
The one with the binars is a good one too, like 001, 100, or whatever it's called. That's good.
Yeah.
The heavy holodeck stuff.
But a holodeck episode like The Big Goodbye or Elementary Dear Data, where they go into the holodeck and they leave it for maybe like a minute. Something on the outside's happening that's causing the holodeck to go nuts.
Oh, you know, Jordy accidentally like like disables the safety protocols without knowing. You know, there's a follow actually with Barkley, because Barkley, you know, played by Dwight Schultz. There's an episode with Barkley called. No. There's no. I forgot about this when you were asking people on Facebook about episodes. There's one with Barkley that actually is a follow-up, a sequel, if you will, to the Elementary My Dear Data. It's called Ship in a Bottle, where he finds the Moriarty program. Moriarty. Well, I don't want to run it for you.
No,
Or for y'all.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Spoiler alert! I just want to get a shirt that says Lewis, spoiler alert, stalking, because I do it all. I don't mean to, but I do it all. I was talking to my friend Brett Pensacola, and like he was like, yeah, I just started, you know, I misunderstood him, and he said he was watching Discovery, and he started talking about being anxious for season 2, so I thought he meant that he'd watched season 1, and I basically like totally, he like watched the first 3 episodes of Discovery, and I ruined the ending from season 1 of Discovery. And he was like, well, thanks, douche, and I'm like, I didn't mean to do it.
I don't like is when you rented a movie and you both went out. You both rented the movie, and when you're sitting there and the person turns to you and go, "Who's that guy?" And I'm like, "This is new to both of us." First off, where are you? And second, I don't know.
I've had friends like that. It's like you're watching same thing. You're watching something and it's like you're trying to like get into it and watch it, and they're like, well, who is that? And what's going on? And this and that. And you're like, I don't know. Just watch it or leave the room or something. You know, it's like drives me crazy. Drives me absolutely crazy. How do you feel about that, Max? When you're watching something new with somebody and they haven't seen it either, and they keep asking you questions about it, and you're trying to watch, and you get like annoyed with people that do that.
I like to look up the ending and act like I came up with it on my own, and I call myself Shostradamus.
Shostradamus. I love it. Okay. We're gonna do. I'm glad we're recording. We're actually gonna do an episode. We'll have you back on, Max. We're gonna do an episode called Shostradamus, and the whole theme is gonna be ruining things for other people. I love it. That's brilliant. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You're getting a bigger tip than usual tonight.
Oh,
Well, it's also because I think you're really sexy.
thanks.
You're welcome. Such a nice smile. So inviting. Show the lovely people out there your smile, Max. All right. So what next? Yeah, sounds good. All right. So once again, we're going to wrap things up. Once again, we'd like to thank, of course, Max, awesome bartender, the guy with a great smile. We'd also like to thank the management and ownership of Pale Ladies Poorhouse.
Tip your bartender.
Yes, tip your bartenders and servers, or they'll do horrible things to you. We'll see. But like I said, thanks to Pale Ladies Poorhouse.
Mostly spit, sometimes balls.
Yes. Sometimes things will accidentally fall on the floor. They get picked up again and then fall on the floor again. Gravity is not always your friend. But thank you seriously once again to Pale Ladies Poorhouse here in downtown Birmingham for letting us record here. And I think we'll be bringing you a lot more shows on a regular basis. And like I said, we took the holidays off and everything. And anybody in the Birmingham area today, be sure to be careful out there because it's wet and gross and cold. And I'm gonna basically spend the rest of the day probably drinking and hanging out with friends. Maybe not that word, but anyway.
Good evening, good morning, and good night.
Anything you'd like to add, Matt?
Nope.
See you guys soon.